In this 11th lesson on the CAGED system, we're going to continue with part 2 of the minor arpeggios based on the minor chord forms of the CAGED system. In this case, we'll be dealing with the E minor form and the D minor form arpeggios. Sound good? All right, let's go. But before we do, hit the red button down there in the corner to subscribe to Outsmart Your Guitar and ring the notification bell if you want to be told when new lessons are posted, which is about once a week. Outsmart Your Guitar is also on Patreon, so if you go over there and subscribe at one of the 2 levels, you'll be helping support me continue my efforts to provide you with high quality lesson material to help you learn, play, and grow to become the guitar player you desire to be, to play the music you love, even write your own music. Sound good? All right. Okay, let's get on with the lesson. All right, we have the E minor form arpeggio. So you play the E minor form chord. In this case, we're playing it in B at the 7th fret. And you quite literally just play the notes of the chord. The second diagram shows a couple of additional notes. On the 10th fret of both the low E and the high E, we have a D tone. Well, that's the flat 3 tone of the B minor chord, so we're just adding 2 more flat 3s. Otherwise, the chord is played essentially the same. I actually should have said the arpeggio is played pretty much the same. All right, you know the drill. Pause the video, practice these, get the mechanics down, both with your fingering and with your picking. Then smooth it out. Put it to a metronome to further refine it, to get it smooth and flowing, both ascending and descending. All right? Then, when you're ready to move forward, press play, and we'll keep going. All right, a new melody for you. In the written material, the melody is sitting right there. It's in C minor. It's at 92 beats a minute. I'm going to play through this for you, and then I'll break it down and show you exactly what's going on. All right, so what's going on here? Okay, we're starting with the E form of the C minor, but we're playing it from the top. So we're doing it in descending fashion. Adding the flat 7 to suggest a minor 7. We talked about that in lesson 10. Then we go to the G form of the E flat. And we suggest in the A form of the E flat a major 7 by adding the natural 7. And then we immediately go to the E form of the B flat and set up the G form, the G minor form of the C minor, moving to the A form of the C minor to set up the E form of the A flat. A little bit of connecting tissue here to get up to the D minor form of the G minor with some extra notes, to the E form of the B flat, moving to the D form of the B flat, to the C form of the B flat. If you need to rewind to review some of that, go ahead, take advantage of the technology, please. So that's how it works. Pause the video, walk through this, get the mechanics right, and get the picking mechanics right. This really requires a lot of attention to the economy picking element, okay? And so smooth it out and then put it to a metronome to further refine it. Now, below the melody in the written material is the progression. It's in C minor, obviously. Play through it, get that down too. Now, the reason you put the melody to the metronome is to find out what tempo you can actually play this smooth and flowing. That's where you record the rhythm part to your looper so that you can play it and keep up with it and make it flow nice and smooth and even. All right? Then when you're done with that, by all means, restart the video and we'll keep going. All right. The D minor form arpeggio. Here we're playing it in A. There's your root at the 7th fret of the 4th string, and you pretty much just walk through playing the chord voice. The diagram on the right, we're going to add another C. That's a flat 3, which we've got there. And you'll notice we're doing that at the 10th fret of the 4th string, but we're also adding here at the 12th fret of the 1st string another 5 tone, an E, right? Because we got one there at the 9th fret on the 3rd string. So we just kind of extend it and we alter our fingering just a little bit. So there you go. Now, you know what to do. Pause the video, practice these, smooth them out, get your mechanics all correct, the picking direction all correct. Then, as you smooth it out, bring in the metronome and play it nice and smooth and flowing as you're able. Refine it to get it there. Then, when you're ready to move forward, we've got another melody for you. So press play when you're ready to go, and we'll get to it. The melody you'll find in the written material. It's at 52 beats a minute at full tempo. I'm going to play through this, and then I'll break down what's going on. So follow along in the written, and then we'll get to the explanation. 3, 4. All right, let me break this down. We're starting with the A minor form of an E minor, and we're only playing 3 notes, right? Now, you see that squiggly line? That is an indication that you rake across the strings. Now, a rake is not a strum. A strum is like this. A rake is a little slower where you hear the individual notes, like that. So now we're just doing 3 notes of the chord, so you rake across those. Hear how they're individually sounding and yet it's very quick. And so we play that and play through the first measure. And that's pretty much framing the A minor form of the E minor chord, but in a melodic way. Then we do a B minor 7, but technically here it's just a B7 or a B minor, and it's in the C form, so we rake that as well. Now, how do you play that last bit there? Okay, that's not raked, it's just strummed, like so, not like that, but okay. So what you do is, let's start on the 3rd beat, where we're on the 12th fret of the 4th string. So you go 3 and 4 E and So that occurs on the 2nd 16th of the 4th beat, the 4 E and right? 3 and 4 E and Then we go to the C minor form of the A minor, raking that. And then we quickly transition to the D minor form with a little bit of extra added notes. And then we go to the G form of the D7. And then we add a little tension to bring us back to the E minor at the beginning. All right? So pause the video, and if you need to rewind and listen to the breakdown, go ahead and do that. That's the beauty of the technology. And listen to it until you understand it. Pause the video again, and now work this melody out mechanically. Mechanically means don't worry about timing, worry about note order, fingering, and picking direction. The elements, the things that make it up, that's the mechanics, right? And then start to smooth it out and put it in time, counting out loud. Then, when you think you've got it fairly smoothed out, bring in the metronome and find the tempo you're able to play it smooth and flowing, and further refine it with the metronome helping you along the way. All right? Then, once you've got that fairly well figured out, below the melody in the written material is the progression over which this is to be played. Learn the progression, record it to your looper at the tempo you can play the melody smooth and flowing, no faster. Then play over that and get it even further refined. Okay? Then, when you're ready to continue, press play and we'll keep moving forward. All right, let's have a little fun here. We're going to move between the E form and the D form and then come down in the C form to end it. So we start here, 5th fret of the 6th string, go all the way up to the 12th fret of the 1st string, then we're going to come back to the 12th fret of the 5th string. All an A minor arpeggio. All right, walk through this. Pause the video, take your time, learn it, get it down, get it right. This is cool stuff. It helps you move up the fretboard a little quicker than just playing through scale elements, and it can sound really nice when it's flowing nice and smooth and even, okay? Then, when you're ready to continue, press play and we'll keep going. Here we have a D minor arpeggio. We're going to start at the 5th fret of the 5th string, playing briefly in the A form and quickly moving into the G form of the minor, the D minor, and then we're going to move up into the E form of the D minor and descend and end at the 10th fret on the 6th string. Here we go. That's better. All right, so pause the video. You know the drill. Work it out mechanically. Get the fingering and the fretting correct and the picking correct. And smooth it out. Put it to a metronome and get it even further smoothed out. And then when you're ready to continue, press play and we'll keep going. All right, here is a major, huge arpeggio. It's an A minor, and we're going to be doing it over 3 octaves. So here's your first, and then here's the first octave. There's the second octave, and there's your third octave way up there at 17. So we're going to walk through the E form into the D form immediately, and then a little bit of the A, the C form, touch on the A form barely to get us up to the final note. Let me walk through this nice and slow. All right. So this gives you the ability to move from here all the way up here very quickly. Now, I've left the pick direction off. I want you to work on how would you play this using the economy picking technique. I've given you the fingering, so that solves half the problems right there. And so I want you to figure out what your picking is, because you're learning the economy technique. Now it's time to start applying it from your own understanding. Take your time in doing this. No big hurry here, okay? So pause the video, go over this, learn the arpeggio itself, then work on the picking. That's my recommendation and your clue. How do you go about this? Learn the arpeggio itself, and then the economy picking will be easier to figure out after you know what your fingers are supposed to be doing, okay? Then, once you've got this down, go ahead and restart the video and we'll wrap it up for this lesson. All right, there you go. The completion of the minor form of the arpeggios. Now, what's important for you to remember is that you've got to start putting this stuff in play in your normal playing habits. So if you're soloing on something and it's a solo that you're pretty much just injecting, find a place to put an arpeggio or two in there. It doesn't have to be in every song, but start integrating arpeggios into your playing habits. Start integrating chord partials into your playing habits. Start integrating elements of how the minor scales and the major scales are applied using the CAGED approach as the means to show you how they can work within the context of the music you play. When you start putting this stuff to work in your normal routine, That's when you begin to internalize it and make it a part of your normal approach to playing music. And that's when you know you really understand the stuff you've been learning, when it starts showing up as the way you normally approach playing music. And that's a cool thing. All right? So, will there be another caged lesson? I don't know. Maybe down the road. But for now, I think this is going to be a good place to draw this series to a close for the moment. And I just want to thank you for coming along on this journey. I've strived to make this the most comprehensive course on the CAGED system on the internet. And as far as I know, I've accomplished just that. Okay? So I want to thank you for all your support and your encouragements. They mean the world to me. It's why I do this, so that you can learn and grow in your ability to play. All right? So until next time, take care, and we'll see you soon.